One second, you guys. Ah! Oh, no. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Hold on. Where's my... Hello. Cool. Oh, let me take off these socks. Hello. Welcome. Hi, you guys. Let me grab my water 1 second. Okay, dope. How are you guys doing? Hello. Happy Sunday. All right. Welcome, you guys. Episode 8. 1 second. Let me get everything set up here and we will begin. The sun went straight up killers. Sit your ass down and eat dudes for dinner. There's food on my plate cause I'm the breadwinner. Is my ass getting fat cause it ain't getting thinner? Okay. Okay, let us start off. Hello and welcome you guys to episode 8 of In My Opinion with Io. I'm your host, Io Zaymar. So it says part 2 of communication and relationships, or relationships and communication. Hello, King Crimson, how are you? We're gonna get into that in a second, but really quick, if you guys are still wondering how in some way you can contribute to the Black Lives Movement, to the Black community, go ahead and support Black-owned businesses. If you're not sure, I'll give you one right here. For those of you who are listening and who cannot see this, it is a shirt. It says Empower Us on it. Right here, my friend Chelsea Ojero Crafts, she makes them along with these really cool coasters. I know I showed them off in a previous episode, but she makes these. Everything is custom made, you guys. So if you want a coaster with jelly beans in it, if you want a tray with glitter on it, if you know, your name printed on it, anything you want, go ahead, take a look at her page. I put the link in my Twitch profile. It's the yellow one with the big hair and the glasses, Ojero Crafts. Go ahead and click on that. Take a look at what she has. These Empower Us shirts are going for $20. She has a limited supply left, but the $20 does go to the Black Lives Movement, Campaign Zero, and the Trevor Project. So the money goes directly to charity. If you guys are wondering, go ahead, click on that link, like her stuff, support the Black community, support Black-owned businesses, you guys. Support your friends also. I don't understand why a lot of people have a problem just supporting their friends right now. I'm doing all right. Nice t-shirt. Thank you so much, King Crimson. I love the use of the word us, because I feel like that really symbolizes unity, not just among people in the Black community, but among us all as human beings. All right, you guys. So let's get into relationships and communications, okay? I said part 2 of question mark because I feel like there are so many different types of relationships, and so many different types of relationships, and all these communication styles and everything that we're going to talk about can honestly be applied to any one of these type of relationships. But I wanted to go ahead and just kind of give more examples and experiences, and hopefully you guys out there who are watching in the chat can chime in also. Today I mostly want to talk about like relationships between a child and a parent, because a lot of times we don't think of that when we think of a relationship. We think of a husband, a wife, a girlfriend, a significant other. We're not really thinking about our mom and dad. That's our mom and our dad, you know. Hold on. Yeah, because last time I touched on relationships and communication, it kind of all got mushed up into me going off about what was going on in the world, just because I see a lot of friends and family right now and they're just so divided. And those are relationships. The relationships that we have with people online are relationships, with strangers are relationships, acquaintances are relationships, okay, you guys? And I think it's just very important to know that there is a whole like psychology behind why we don't see eye to eye and why we're disagreeing. There were so many videos of kids crying because they were arguing with their parents. They couldn't understand why their parents would think this way, or how their parents could possibly think these things or do these things. And there is a whole psychology behind it, a whole like brain, inner workings of your brain, like this whole thing. There's something behind that, and it doesn't ultimately excuse their thoughts or their behaviors, but if you as the other person can go ahead and try to understand why they're doing these things, even if they don't understand it, if one person can understand why the other person is acting or behaving or thinking or doing the things that they are doing, then that person can go ahead, understand why, and come up then with a more reasonable way to communicate. Because if one of you can at least see what's going on and can at least put yourself in the other person's shoes and try to experience what they're feeling or what might be causing it, even if you're mad, because in the moment we are emotional. But if one of you guys can get into the other person's shoes, get into the other person's head, at least try to, you can then rearrange, reform what you're trying to communicate to better be able to communicate to that person. It takes a lot of understanding your own behaviors. It takes a lot of understanding people to be able to realize the hows and the whys. But if you're around people long enough, and especially if you're around the people you love long enough, you're able to recognize these things in them. I want you guys to remember, though, that at the end of the day, their thoughts are their own, okay? It has nothing to do with you personally. Don't take their thoughts personally. You cannot control their thoughts, okay? You can only control your thoughts. It's how the world works. It's how life works, okay? Every relationship that you have, I feel like I've said this so many times, but I'll say it again. Every relationship that you have in this world is temporary compared to the one that you have with yourself. Accept that, okay? Accept that you are in control of you. They are in control of them. As much as we want to try and change somebody's minds and argue and sit there all day, we can't change someone's mind. We can only just say what we have to say, leave them with that. If they don't want to change their mind, if they can't see eye to eye, that's fine. Let them deal with it. Let them have their own thoughts. Let them have their own life. You continue on with your own life. A lot of people harbor a lot of hatred because they just hold on to these things and they're just so angry, like, why can't this person do that? Why can't this person da 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 da? Why can't you just fucking drop it? Okay? Accept that they aren't going to see eye to eye with you, especially after you get into like a heated debate or something like that. People need time to calm down, okay? You need time to calm down. Everyone needs time to calm down. Collect your thoughts. Gather yourself, reestablish what you're doing and what you got going on. All right. Like I said, I wanted to talk about a relationship between parents and kids because the last AMA, there was somebody in the chat who brought up the LGBTQ community, BQT. I'm sorry, I always get those letters mixed up. They were expressing their feelings about their friend and how all this stuff is new and kind of confusing to them, but they accept and love their friend, but they're a little bit worried that their friend's father isn't going to love and accept them the way they have, the way their mother has. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. I didn't write too many notes about this, so if things sound a little unorganized, that's why. But yes, I feel like a lot of people out there are part of this community. A lot of people out there are having a problem with this, have had a problem with this in the past, because coming out to your parent is extremely hard. And especially nowadays, so many things are changing, and when things are changing, people get scared. Why? Because people are afraid of things that they have never experienced before, things that are totally unknown. This is a fact, okay, you guys? Whether you want to accept it or not, like I said in my last AMA, I really only get angry nowadays when I'm scared, okay? Because when I'm scared, it's usually because I feel like my life is in danger, and when my life is in danger, yeah, I react in a way that comes off as really angry, and it's a natural reaction. That's a human reaction. So when people are scared, they get angry. They're either, obviously scared, like they look scared, or they react in a way that they seem angry. It's natural, a human reaction. If you're coming out to your parent and you know that they are the kind of person who is always like getting angry, it can be extremely scary. At the very end of the day, all a parent wants is for their child to be happy, healthy, and successful. A lot of the times, though, their idea of happiness, healthiness, and success is not the exact same idea as their child's happiness, health, or success. I mean, health kind of, is going to be about the same, because your physical health is, your physical health. You want you to be physically healthy. A lot of people are still trying to understand mental health, emotional health. That's why we're here and we're talking about it. Why? Because those are part of the human experience, you guys. And I want you to know that you are not alone in these things. These things affect all of us, okay? So yes, it is very hard to come out to a parent who is always angry. Trust me, I know it's scary, okay? I've been there, I've done that. My parents are they're always yelling. They're always yelling. It's how they communicate, okay? They communicate by screaming. I don't understand. My dad is Italian, my mom is Filipino. Just screaming. Everyone's screaming at each other. They're screaming, and then they get louder, and then this person is trying to talk over this person, and then da-da-da, and then finally everyone's just screaming, and then no one's angry though, but it's just a lot of screaming in my house, okay? It gets very loud. It seems really emotional because people are confused. These things that we talk about are new, These feelings and everything, they're new. The LGBTQIA plus community is always growing. The letters over here, that's why I'm always confused, because it's just like they're always adding letters. Why? Because people are naming these new feelings. And yeah, it can be confusing, okay? It can be very confusing, not only to you, but to the person who is experiencing these feelings, okay? So now we got two people on either end, both confused. One person is nervous and afraid. The other person is just confused and afraid. So, yeah, I want you to know, if you're coming out to your parents, if you have already done that, if they have not accepted you, cannot accept you, even if it's not this, if it's like you're coming out to your parent and you're like, hey, I don't want to be a doctor, I want to be a musician, you know, that's hard to do also, because parents have this idea that their kid is going to be this. And like I said, a lot of the times our idea of how we want to live our life is not the exact same idea that our parents had. And it's harder for some parents to let go of that idea. So we have these arguments and these struggles in this relationship, this parent-child relationship that is really so special, and it almost defines our relationships with everyone else in the world, and how we view especially our relationship with our significant other. That's why it's very important to realize that those relationships outside of yourself are temporary. Love yourself first. Be comfortable with yourself first, because then when you get into these arguments, when doubt rolls around in your head, it's easier to push it away. Because yes, when someone says something, and especially if they are significant to us, like our parent, that relationship is very significant to us. So when they don't accept us, it's very hard. It's very hard to feel that, especially at first, okay? It's very hard to feel that your parent doesn't accept you for who you are. You doubt yourself. Some people try to fit into this picture, and it hurts. It hurts you. Why? Because you're not who they want you to be. You are your own person. You have your own life. All right? Accept that you guys don't see eye to eye. Their feelings on it, though, has nothing to do with you. Their feelings, the reason why they don't accept you has nothing to do with you. They are struggling in their own mind to accept these things that are going on. So let them deal with it, okay? Let them deal with it. Those are their emotions. You love yourself. You move on. I feel like that's kind of one of the only ways to get through life here, because a lot of people get caught up in how the world sees them and how somebody else sees them. And my therapist told me, you can't control how people see you, and that's so fucking true. And we sit there and we're just like, all day we're like, oh my god, like what if I do this and everyone thinks I'm a loser? What if I do this and everyone thinks, you know, blah, blah. It's like, if you want to do it, fucking do it. Do it because you want to, all right? People on their deathbeds all the time, they don't regret doing something and feeling like a loser. Or, you know, they regret the things that they didn't do. They regret the things that they were too afraid to do. They regret worrying about people's opinions. They regret not being themselves. When they are on their deathbed, that's what people regret. They don't regret the things they did. They don't regret the mistakes, quote unquote, that they made, because at least they tried. They tried. They failed. They tried again. Maybe they didn't fail. Who knows? But people, they don't regret the things that they did. They don't regret the times that they tried. They don't regret ever feeling embarrassed. They regret the things that they never did and never tried, and they regret worrying about people's opinions. So don't. Because these relationships that we feel are so important, so significant, so, whatever it is, it's not as important as the relationship you have with yourself. People try to justify, giving up their goals or justify being a different person and not being themselves. Oh, well, it's convenient. It doesn't cause any I don't get any backlash for it, for being this person who fits inside of a box. It's safe here inside of this box. Nobody makes fun of me inside of this box. Nobody inside of this box. But guess what? You're stuck inside of a box and you feel trapped and you feel it. You're not happy. I know. I have been inside this fucking box slowly but surely. With this podcast, I feel like I am just opening up the lid and I'm walking the fuck out of this box because, god damn it, I can't be in a fucking box anymore. Alright? I was so afraid to speak my mind and talk about my opinions and my truths. Why? Because a lot of people don't like what I have to say. I know this. I know that a lot of people, they don't like to hear the truth. At least they don't like to hear the truth and how someone else, I don't fucking know. It hurts. It's scary. Yes, I know. I don't know. My opinions, I guess, seem bold to some people. They're fucking, what did my brother say? They're fucking wild. They create, some of them, some of them, I don't know. I have no idea. People say that they're like progressive or something. I feel like they're just normal ass thoughts. People have these, I can't be the only person with these thoughts. I can't. I just can't, you guys. It's the way the universe works, the power of the universe. Like, I cannot be the only person with these thoughts and I need to get them out. I can't suppress them any longer for the people around me. Okay, why? Because I'm not happy. My mom was like, my mom knows that I cuss all the time. I think I talked about this before, and she was like, you can't be cussing on your show because people don't, there's some people out there who don't like cussing. And I was like, Mom, fuck them. I don't care. Okay? I can't sit here and censor myself and like actively think about it when I'm trying to just be myself here. I'm just trying, this is my show. I'm not like, no one's paying me to do it, okay? I'm not sponsored by a company and I'm not on, I have no idea. Like, I'm allowed to cuss here on my own show. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry, go find another show, alright? I'm going to be myself. And when I die and I'm sitting there on my deathbed, I'm not going to regret cussing on my show. I'm not going to regret sticking up for my friends. I'm not going to regret expressing myself. I'm not going to regret saying my opinions out loud. But if I were to keep all of that shit in, I would definitely regret that stuff, okay? If I were to have never come out to my parents, I don't understand. Like, it is very hard. It is very hard. But if I could never be myself in front of my parents, if I could never just, here I am, and just give them the time to accept me and just realize that, yes, they're working through their own emotions. But if your parent really loves you, they will eventually accept you. And whether it takes days, months, years, even if it takes them up until their deathbed, because for some reason expressing yourself is one of the hardest things to do, especially for the older generations, because what they were taught and the society they grew up in, you know, you weren't really allowed to be this super unique person. If you were a fucking freak, okay? If you're gay, you're a fucking freak. If you were anything that was different than them, you were a fucking freak. And you had to be exactly the same in order to survive in that society. Otherwise, you were outcasted and it was extremely hard to be. All right? But here we are, 2020. Everyone is super accepting, or at least trying to be. Why? Because we grew up in a society where it was ingrained to us that everyone is equal, treat everyone the same, and we're seeing that some people, you know, are having a harder time than others, letting go of these generational whatever, these past things that were taught to them. All right? But we can try to be ourselves now. We can at least try to express ourselves. You know, we're at least given platforms where it's easier to be yourself and express yourself freely. And I think that is so amazing. If they can't accept you, that is on them, okay? That is on them. They're holding on to that. That's completely on them. All right? It's hard to express yourself. Yes. Like I said, all these relationships are temporary. Love yourself first. First and foremost, you guys. It's hard. It's hard. That's why there's therapy. All right? It's very hard to love yourself. I know. It took me like 20 something years to finally love myself and even just see myself as beautiful, because I had a lot of body issues growing up. And yeah, love yourself first, okay? It has taken me so long still to how do I say this? To not care about what my parents think, all right? Because, like I said, they're your parents. This relationship defines so many of your other relationships. You want your parents to be proud of you. Why? It feels good. It feels good. It feels good. You want them to be happy. You want to make them happy. You want, you know, and a lot of times parents, they don't accept you. Like I said, they aren't happy with the decisions you made. Some parents, I'm not talking about all parents here, because some parents are amazing. Some parents, super amazing. They love and accept their child, even if they don't understand it at first and they're a little confused. They're more like, they come back quicker. They're just like, a couple of days, they're like, oh, you know what? That's who you are, and if that's who you are, I'm accepting. I love you. I'm going to support you, okay? Because like I said, most parents, there's some parents, really terrible parents out there are really terrible parents. I'm not talking about them, okay? Don't include them in this, because they're just terrible, all right? Parents I'm talking about are parents who, they had a kid. They love their kid no matter what, all right? You're homeless, you know your parent would at least allow you to stay in their house for like however long. You're hungry, you know your parent's gonna feed you. Why? They love you. Your parent loves you. Even if they are poor, your parent would literally, you're their child, okay? If they can't give you something, they're gonna feel bad. I know. I've talked to so many people when a parent is unable to provide for their child, when a parent is unable to calm them or ease them or help them when they're hurting, even if that parent seems like they don't care or they're emotionless, most of the time they're really hurting inside. They just don't know how to express themselves. It hurts. It hurts to see your child in pain. It hurts to see them, So just be yourself. Be yourself. Prove to them that what you do and what you want to do and all these things that they don't like and can't accept, prove to them that you are happy and you are successful and this is you, okay? Prove to them that. Sometimes that's all they need, is just proof that you're happy living this life that they never envisioned for you, okay? My parents wanted me to be this 9-to-5 office worker, cheerleader type, straight A's, all this other stuff. I was none of those things. I was nothing that my parents wanted me to be. And there were so many things that they couldn't accept at first. Finally, after so long, when my dad was like, come on, you gotta get a 9-to-5 job. You gotta freaking do this. Sometimes you just gotta accept that, your dreams and everything are impossible and just give up. My parents have literally told me so many times to give up on my dreams, and I feel like if I were to listen to them and not fight back against them, one, I would be extremely unhappy because I always was unhappy listening to them and trying to fit inside of their box, okay? Two, I would not be here. I would not be here where I am today. I would still be somewhere else, miserable, probably living at home with my parents, and they would probably be wondering, why is my 30-year-old daughter living with me still? She has this 9-to-5 job. Why is she still so miserable with her life? And it would be so, you have the 9-to-5. I don't understand why you're so miserable still. It's like, because this life that you envisioned for me is not the life that I'm supposed to live. And I know that because I'm sitting here living this life, living inside of your box, and I'm fucking unhappy. All right? People are not supposed to live like that. Let's see, 1 second. Rob the Bob, last time you were wearing a nice glitter dress in the bathroom. Love that. Yeah, that was for the AMA. This is my podcast, so AMA is a little bit different than the podcast, but thank you for watching. Yeah, you guys, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be where I am. Slow progress on your goals is still better than no progress. It's better than living inside of this box and feeling like you're stuck, all right? If you're working towards the things that are making you happy, you're not going to be like there right away. If your goal is to be this, I want to be a horticulturist and have my own gigantic plant farm and provide plants to the whole West Coast. You're not going to become that right away. It's going to take a little bit of time. You're going to have to first, make the money, get the land, get the plants. All right? That stuff takes time. If your goal is to be, I want to be a freaking rock star. I want to be this great musician. I don't even play an instrument. If that's what you want to do, you can work towards your goals, all right? Pick up the instrument. A lot of times people don't become successful in these dreams and these goals because they run into like a problem, and this problem like sets them back, and they feel like, okay, it's not going the way I want it to. So just gonna go back to this. Like, you should always have a backup plan, yes, especially when your goal is to become a freaking famous rock musician, because let's face it, some people, like, no matter how hard you practice playing the guitar, or how, you know, some people, you just don't got rhythm. I'm sorry, like, some people, you just don't got rhythm. It's I don't know what to tell you, you know, but eventually, maybe if you worked and you could become this person. But yeah, it's good. I feel like it's good to have backup plans. When I was in college, my professor said that almost 99% of the time, the people who go in there they start off, they're a freshman. This is school for fashion design, just so you guys understand these things I'm about to say. So you're in there and you're a freshman, and a lot of times people are like, oh, I want to be a designer. I'm going to have my own design house, and I'm going to only design, you know, wedding dresses, couture wedding dresses, and that is it, and that is my dream, and that is what I am doing, and no one can stop me, da 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 da. Most of the time when you're going in and you're working towards these goals and everything like that, my professor said 99% of the time, people don't become this. Why? Because they find out what they really love to do on their way, working their way up to this goal. All right? It's true. It's true. So many people want to be wedding dress designers. Not that many people actually become wedding dress designers. A lot of people realize, wow, I really love making patterns. Wow, I really love grading. I really love doing Gerber, which is something that designs patterns, okay? A lot of people, they find out their real passion and what they're really into while working towards what they thought was going to be like their end goal. Because a lot of times people, they don't know what they want to do. A lot of times, like, you graduate high school, you don't know what the fuck you want to do. You're like, what the fuck am I going to do? But you get this idea, and it's kind of like this rough idea, you know, and you're just like, I want to pursue this. What is this? I want to pursue music. I want to be a musician. All right, so you go to school for music, and you start taking all these different music classes. And even though you still that goal of wanting to be a musician sparked you to go to this music school and everything like that, you're taking these different music classes, and then all of a sudden you realize, like, you love composing. Why? Because you love transposing, and you really love it. It really gets your gears going, and you now, instead of being this rock star musician, you want to compose, and you want to write this music out, and yeah, you find success in that. Those composers write the music that musicians play. All right? A lot of times these musicians, they want to be rock stars, they become studio musicians. Why? Because you still get to play. You still love playing. It's not about the fame or the fortune. It's about the love. The love. And how it makes you feel, and how it feels to your soul. Alright? You can't fit yourself in these boxes. You can't go ahead and, you know, give up because, you know, you will find what you love. Find what you love. You feel it. You'll feel it here in your soul. It will drive you crazy. You will love doing it. All right? And when I say you'll love doing it, it's like, there's good and bad days for everything, you guys. But you will love doing it even after a bad day. You will feel really good. You'll feel happy that you did it. You will feel accomplished. All right? Do that. Do that. Prove your happiness. Prove that you're happy doing what you do. Find the thing that you love doing. Be successful in that. And then turn around to these people who can't accept you and show them that. All right? If they still can't accept you when you're happy, that's fucking on them. Okay? You can love people from afar. You can love people from a distance. You do not have to have somebody in your life, especially when all they want to do, sorry, there's a fly if you're watching, all they want to do is just be so negative and negative and negative and negative. These relationships are temporary. You communicate your thoughts, you communicate your feelings, you communicate all this stuff. If they still cannot meet you there, it has nothing to do with you. Give them time to process it, okay? Give them time to process this new information. Give them time to deal with whatever they're dealing with mentally, because you guys don't share the same brain, all right? Their brain does not work the same as yours. They don't come to the same conclusions as you do, or maybe they do, but not as quickly. Who knows? But all I know is you guys don't share the same brain. All right? You can't expect every single relationship that you have to always be happy and accepting and always see eye to eye and always you. And if something doesn't go your way, you're upset, and this relationship is, it's broken and all this other. You can't go and have any relationship and be upset when the other person starts acting like they're their own person. Okay? You guys aren't connected at the hip. Just because they're your mom, they're your dad, doesn't make them the same as you. I think you know that. I think you know that. You guys are your own different person. Teenagers spend their teenage years rebelling against their parents just to prove that they are, in fact, their own person. All right? Be yourself. Love yourself. Communicate honestly and openly, always. Even when you're afraid, write it down. If you're afraid to talk like me, I can't ever talk to my parents because the way I grew up and everything like that, it was insane. They would, anytime I would try to express my emotions, they would make fun of me. And they would be like, get it out, because I would start to stutter. And my parents, the way they were is they would kind of make fun of me. And so I would just start crying. And then when I started crying, I would just go to my room, and then I would never tell my parents anything. And then I started writing it down, though. I started writing it down because the relationship with my parent, yes, is significant to me, and I love them, and I want it to work out, and I want us to at least be on some kind of like stable ground. So if I can't talk to them, I write it out. I write out my feelings. It's easier for me to express myself that way. I hand them the letter, or I leave it in their stuff. I leave it in their stuff. They read it. Gives them time to process and understand the things that, I said and all of my feelings. It gives them time to read it without me getting frustrated, without me crying, without them like doing the things that they do. Communication isn't always verbal. Communication can be written. Communication can be in body language. The way, there's so many different ways to communicate. All right? If one way isn't working, try another way. If no ways are working, like I said, that's on them. Okay? You've tried. You put in the effort. If they can't still come to some kind of agreement with you or accept you or anything like that for whatever it is. If you're gay, if you want to be an artist, if you want to shave your head, if they can't accept you for you, that's on them. Don't take it personally, okay? Yes, it hurts. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it's hard to do. Damn, that sucks. King Crimson, it sucks, but honestly, life is what you make it. We're given these things, put into these relationships, given these challenges. Every single thing that we do, we have the choice on how we react to it. We could sit here and be miserable. You can sit there and be miserable, you guys. Like, you don't have to take any of this advice. You don't have to sit here and love your life or love yourself or any of that. You can be miserable. That's your choice. All right? Like I said, it's your life. Your life. You choose what you want to do with your life. If being miserable makes you happy, I don't see how it could, because that's like too contradicting. Like, that's fucking very contradictory. But if you like being miserable, go ahead. All right? You don't have to do these things. If you don't like being miserable, though, you can choose to just accept. You have to just accept it. Accept this problem. Accept this issue, Look at it. What is really going on? Like, literally, you have gone through all these different things in your life. You have survived every horrible, terrible experience you thought you would never live through. Obviously, you're still here. You're listening. You're watching, right? You're going to survive this, okay? You're going to survive it. As scary as it might be to express yourself and to be yourself and to be open and everything like that, the relationship you have with yourself is number one. All these other ones are temporary. Learn how to communicate openly, honestly. This way, you get it out of your system. It's out of you, okay? What they do with that information is up to them now, all right? But you take care of yourself, first and foremost. Take care of your own personal happiness. It's like in an airplane, they tell you if those oxygen masks come down to like secure your mask first before helping someone else, even if that someone else is like your own child. It's so true. Secure your own happiness first before you try to go and make someone else happy. All right? I feel like this is a parent-child example, but this is every single relationship. Every single one. Significant, insignificant. You love yourself first. Why? Loving yourself first, respecting yourself. This is going to teach other people how to treat you. All right? If they can't love you, accept you, respect you, that's on them. Okay? That is on them. They got their own issues. If they can't love and accept and respect you, it's probably because they don't love, accept, or respect some part of themselves. When it comes down to it. All right? Always be open to what other people have to tell you also. Okay, I know we're talking about the talking and telling people, but if you're receiving this information, try to receive it with an open heart. Try to receive it as if you were the person telling it. Understand that it is hard to express yourself. You know it. You know it. It's hard, okay? So understand that when someone is expressing themselves, that it is hard. Try to accept it and listen with an open heart, even if you have all these conflicting thoughts, even if you're confused, even if you're scared, if you're feeling angry, even if you don't accept it, okay? Try. If you can't accept it at first, it's okay. And if you can't ever accept that either, it's okay. The best thing to do, though, is to let that person know openly and honestly and as calmly as possible. You guys, let them know how you feel. Look, I understand that you said X, Y, and Z, and right now I can't accept X, Y, and Z. I hope you can respect my feelings on this. Maybe after some time passes, and because I love you, I care about you. It's easy. It's not easy because it's fucking hard. People have a problem doing all this, expressing themselves and talking calmly, because a lot of people can't see beyond themselves. It's about me, 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 me. Everything is happening to me. Everything is, why is this affecting me? Why can't you do this for me? You're not the only one here, okay? You got a life to live. You know that. You want to be happy. You know that. Why wouldn't somebody else want to live their own life and be happy and be respected just the same as you? Why? It's crazy, right? It's crazy. I'm the only one. No, you're not. No, you're not. The next episode I will be doing, I think I'm just going to do 3 parts, maybe even 4 parts, but the next relationship and communication one, I definitely want to focus more on the significant other relationship, because that is the one that a lot of people have questions about. That is the one that is what people think of when they think of relationships. So we're going to talk about that one in the next episode. If you guys have any stories, any questions, anything to say about significant other relationships, anything like that, or even anything about relationships or communication in general, tune in next Sunday, catch it live, talk to me in the chat. You can always DM me. If you go to anchor.fm/IozeMartian, you can always leave me a voice message. I can play them back during the show. I'm pretty sure I am able to do that. Yeah. We're all, like I said, we're all in a relationship. This is all a relationship. Let's talk about relationships. Let's figure out how to communicate. Let's figure out how to express ourselves. Why? Because we all want to be happy. I think that's simple, right? It's not simple, but I think we can get there. I think slowly but surely we can get there, you guys. I believe in us. I believe in us. I am going to end this episode now. We're live every Sunday here on Twitch. Like I said earlier, I was talking about AMAs. Those are Ask Me Anythings. Literally after this, 2 p.m. In about 30 minutes, I'll be hosting an AMA. We could talk about anything. It doesn't have to be about relationships, communication. It's anything, honestly. I'm going to be testing out some products. If you like this shirt, go ahead, Oshiro Crafts, click the link in the profile. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, so much for watching, so much for listening. I'm still trying to get everything put together and running as smoothly as possible. Still working out all those kinks. So thank you guys so much for your patience and for your never-ending love and support. I would not be here without you. So thank you guys. I will be back in about 30 minutes to do the AMA. That's it for In My Opinion, though. next episode, oh man, episode 9, you guys. I'm so excited. Let's talk about relationships and communication again, but this time, let's talk about, you know, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your wives, your husbands, your partners, your lovers. Let's talk about those things. All right. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye. And to you guys watching at home, I have to end the audio. I will be back in 30 minutes to do the AMA. Oh man, I'm sitting here labeling the audio. I almost labeled it 30 minutes. All right, see you soon. Thank you, King Crimson, for always coming in, and thank you guys for watching. I will be doing the AMA. I'm going to be testing on some products. Like I said in the last one, I'll be shaving my legs, so we'll be in the bathroom doing that. I won't be wearing this unless you guys like this outfit. I was going to put on something else, but yeah. Let me get ready and get all that stuff set up for the product test. I can't wait to show you guys all this stuff. I can't wait to shave my legs in front of you, I guess. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.